Hello everyone, this is Mr. H again and welcome to my YouTube channel. For today, we will be learning how to solve quadratic equations using factorization method. Let's answer example 1. Solve x squared plus 18x plus 81 equals 0 by factoring. So by applying the factorization method, we need to consider a few things. The first thing we need to consider is the constant term. So let's label it step 1. Now we need to consider for step 1 the constant term. And here we have positive 81. So positive 81 is the constant term, and what we need to do is we need to list down all the possible factors of 81. So when I mean factors, list down the numbers, the pairs of numbers. If you multiply those two numbers, it will give you positive 81. So you can do that by listing them down. So what are the possible factors? So we have, say, negative 27 times negative 3. So negative 27 times negative 3 gives us positive 81. Same goes with positive 27 times positive 3. So positive 27 times positive 3 is also positive 81. So we're listing down here also the signs, because the signs are really important. So the rule here is we need to list down all the factors. That gives us positive 81. So another thing, we have negative 9 times negative 9, also positive 81. Same goes with positive 9 times positive 9 gives us positive 81. So I think I can stop here because I can see that I already got the numbers that I will be needing. And that will lead us to the second step. So anyway, if you haven't mastered yet factorization method, you can simply follow the steps that I'll be discussing right here. Especially for number 1, you can list down all the possible factors, as many as possible. Okay, so but once you master the factorization method, definitely you won't have to list down everything, because you can stop right there when you already got the numbers. Okay, so these are the possible pairs of numbers that gives us positive 81. And for the second step, what we need to do is we need to consider the coefficient of the middle term. So if I'm going to go back to the given equation here, so the given equation is already arranged in standard form, if you recall from the previous videos. So the standard form of quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So you always have to make sure that the equation is arranged in this form. Now, so going back to the second step, so we need to consider the coefficient of the middle term. So the middle term here is positive 18x. And I just mentioned earlier that we need to consider the numerical coefficient. So that is positive 18. So positive 18 is the coefficient of the middle term. We need to take note of that in step 2. So consider the coefficient of the middle term. All right, so we're gonna go back to step 1. We have to take a look at all the pairs of numbers that we got, and we need to get the sum of every pair of factors. So we need to get the sum, and we need to make sure that the sum of the pair is the coefficient of the middle term, which is positive 18. So take a look at the pairs from step 1. So let me use this. All right, so let's take a look at the first pair. So the first pair is negative 27 and negative 3. So it says we need to get the sum. So that means we need to plus them together. So we get 27, negative 27 plus negative 3 actually gives us negative 30. And we're looking for positive 18 because that's the coefficient of the middle term. So we can say that this option, this pair is out. Same goes for the other one. We have positive 27 plus positive 3 is actually positive 30, right? But we're looking for positive 18 because that's the middle term, the coefficient of the middle term. So we can say that this pair is out. So we have two options left here. Either this pair or this one. But which of the pairs actually gives us the sum of positive 18? So negative 9 plus negative 9 is negative 18, so this is out. Therefore, the numbers that give us a sum of positive 18 is positive 9 and positive 9. We put them together, we plus them, we add them, you get positive 18. Right? So, for our third step, since we already found out the two factors that give us positive 18 when we add them, so we can write it in this form. So put x here and x on the second factor, and we take the numbers. So we got positive 9 for the first one, and the second number is positive 9 as well. So these are the factors that we're looking for which is actually equal to x squared plus 18x plus 81. Right? So these are the two factors. Now, so we were told to find the solution. So in order for us to do that, we need to first take the first factor. So take this one. So you have x plus 9, then equate it to 0. And take the second factor, which is x plus 9, and equate it to 0. And then solve. So x equals to positive 9 will jump over the equal sign. It will become negative. That's our first factor. First solution. And here, solve for x. Positive 9 jumps over the equal sign. From positive, it will become negative. So this one. Therefore, the solutions are negative 9 and negative 9. So those are our answers. Okay, example number 2. Example number 2, solve 2x squared equals 7x. So as you notice, for this equation, we're actually missing a constant term. And the rule is you have to make sure that you have to arrange the given equation into, standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Right? So, but we're only seeing two terms right here. So we're missing the constant term. So that only tells us, one thing, that the step here will be shorter than the first one. right? So first we need to rearrange it. So gather all the terms on one side and equate to 0. So you have 2x squared. 7x jumps over the equal sign, moves to the left. So from positive, it will become negative. Then equate it to 0. So this is we only have two terms to work on. And by looking at it, applying the factorization method, so the steps to follow actually will be different from the example 1. Because as you can see from here, we don't have the constant term, right? So that means that the factorization method that we will apply here is going to be the what you call the common monomial factoring, right? Common monomial factoring. Or others, they call it the GCF. So we just technically look at the common factors from each term, then take it out and carry on. So others, they call it like GCF, right? So going back to the equation, so we have 2x squared minus 7x equals 0. So looking at the two terms right here, I can only see one common factor that I can take out, which is x. That's the greatest common factor of 2x squared and 7x, right? So since the greatest common factor is x, so I take 2x squared divided by x, so it gives me 2x. Then if you're gonna go back, reverse process, so x times 2x is actually 2x squared. So that's the concept of it, right? So that is the greatest common factor, take it out. Also from here, you have the negative sign, just copy it. And then you have 7x divided by x, actually you get 7. And if you're gonna go back, reverse process, so x times negative 7 is actually negative 7x. Just to check you really did it right. Okay, now from here, we can actually identify the solution. So the first factor is x. So you take x and equate it to 0. That's actually our first factor, or the solution, the first solution we're looking for. Then for the second factor, so we take this, you get 2x minus 7 equated to 0. Then from here we have to solve. So 2x equals 2. Negative 7 jumps over to the right. From negative will become positive. And then divide both sides by 2 to solve for x. Therefore, x is 7 over 2. So that is our second solution. So therefore, the solution to this equation is R0 and 7 over 2. And now for your challenge, so grab your pen and paper and answer this question. Solve the quadratic equation using the factorization method. So the given equation is x squared minus 5x equals 24. Remember to write down the comment below and share us your answers. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video. Thank you very much for watching.